Your mind is your battlefield, and in this world of noise, chaos, and pressure, only a few ever learn to rule it. But what if the secret to mental power was buried in ancient wisdom? Imagine waking up with unshakable focus, no longer reacting to stress, distractions, or critics. Just calm, clarity, and complete control. That's what the Stoics mastered, and today we unlock their most powerful tricks to transform your mind from fragile to unstoppable. Here are 10 tricks you must try to transform your mind. Let's dive in. Number 1. Begin with the end in mind. Memento mori. Let's be honest, most people act like they have forever. They delay their dreams. They postpone their growth. They play it safe. But the Stoics, they understood a harsh truth. You don't have unlimited time. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. It may seem harsh, but it's about freedom. Because when you realize your time is running out, you stop wasting it. You stop living for likes. You stop overthinking every move. Instead, you start taking action. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential figures in history, wrote to himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." He didn't say that to be dramatic. He said it to snap himself to attention. When you live as if your days are numbered, suddenly, the petty arguments don't matter. The opinions of strangers lose power. The goals you keep putting off, they become urgent. You realize that fear is a luxury you can't afford, that someday is a lie, and that today, this brief moment of life, is the only moment you truly own. Memento mori is not a call to despair. It's a call to ignite, to stop living like a spectator in your own story, to live every day as if it's borrowed because it is. And when you do that, you live fully, you love boldly, you create a legacy. So every morning, look in the mirror and say it to yourself, memento mori. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it kill your hesitation. Let it drive you to become the person you were born to be before the clock runs out. Number 2, master the art of the inner citadel. Control what you can. Life will test you. People will lie. Plans will fall apart. The world will throw chaos at your doorstep, and you'll feel the pull to react, to panic, to break. However, the Stoics had a secret weapon, a fortress not built of stone, but of mindset. They called it the inner citadel, a place inside you that nothing and no one can touch. When the outside world goes to war, the Stoic withdraws inward, not to hide, but to take control. Because here's the truth, you don't control the storm, but you steer the ship. You don't control what people say about you, what's trending, the economy, the past, the future, but you do control how you show up. What thoughts do you feed? What emotions do you accept? What energy do you give? What actions will you take right now? That's the Stoic advantage, radical focus on what's yours to command. Epictetus said it clearly, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Meaning, pain isn't in the event, it's in your interpretation. And guess what? That interpretation is 100% yours to control. You don't need the world to change. You don't need other people to act right. You need to own your response to every challenge, every insult, every curveball life throws your way. So when things go wrong, breathe. When someone pushes your buttons, pause. When life feels unfair, remember, your inner citadel remains yours. Build it strong, reinforce it daily, guard it with clarity. And when chaos comes, because it will, you'll stand tall while others fall. You'll act with power while others panic. You'll be the calm within the storm. This is the Stoic path. Not controlling others, but having complete control over yourself. That's what real power looks like. Number 3, kill distraction with purpose. Know what you stand for. Distraction is the new disease. You open your phone to check the time, and an hour disappears. You start something important, then scroll, click, wander, and drift. And at the end of the day, you feel it, that quiet regret, that sense of wasted potential. But distraction isn't just about technology. It's about a more profound lack of clarity. Because when you don't know what you stand for, you'll chase whatever grabs your attention. Seneca said it best, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." In other words, you can't focus if you don't have a mission. The Stoics weren't immune to noise, but they were guided by purpose. That purpose was like a sword slicing through chaos. It told them what to ignore, what to pursue, what to sacrifice, and what was non-negotiable. You want to kill distraction? Then stop asking how to focus and start asking why you're here. What are you building? What legacy are you leaving? What truth are you willing to live and die for? When you answer that, your actions sharpen. You no longer need a motivation video. You no longer need approval. You're powered by mission. Because here's the truth. People without a purpose are easily controlled. They follow trends. They follow crowds. They follow fear. But when you live with intention, you become immune to distraction. You move differently. You protect your time. You say no to what doesn't serve your vision without guilt, without apology. The Stoic warrior wakes up and remembers who they are, not by accident, but by ritual. Each morning they realign with their purpose. Each night they reflect on whether they honored it. So ask yourself today, what do I stand for? And am I living like I mean it? Because a distracted mind is a wasted life, but a focused mind built with purpose is a powerful weapon. And when your mind becomes a weapon, nothing can stop you. Number 4, embrace voluntary discomfort. Train for toughness. Comfort is a gentle murderer. It kills ambition, haunts dreams, and breeds complacency. It tempts you. You've done enough. Chill. But the Stoics march to a different drummer. If you don't choose discomfort, life will choose it for you. Imagine it. Clean sheets, soft pillows, the warmth of a bed that never demands anything. That's not freedom. That's a trap. True power begins on the edge of discomfort. Seneca, a man of privilege, voluntarily fasted. He wore coarse garments. He slept on hard floors, not because he had to, but because he chose to. He declared, "Set aside days, content with the scantiest fare, and ask yourself, is this the condition I feared?" He wasn't proving he could endure. He was rewiring himself to no longer be surprised by hardship. Think of your life, a chilly morning that hurts your bones, a workout that burns, a conversation that tugs at your soul. These aren't roadblocks. They are your training ground. By choosing discomfort, you teach your mind it's stronger than excuses. You reveal weaknesses hidden behind comfort. You steel yourself for the trials that will come. This isn't suffering. This is empowerment. It's forging mental calluses, shaping internal steel. It's showing your mind, no matter what this body faces, it will deliver. Here's your challenge. 1. Tomorrow morning, wake up before the sun rises, when your bones ache and your bed feels like freedom. 2. Skip the easy, opt for silence, simplicity, or that glass of cold water instead of your regular coffee. 3. Show up on the mat, the pavement, the page, no excuses. Dig deeper than yesterday. This is the modern Stoic's ritual, not punishment, preparation, not random struggle, deliberate growth. Each act of self-imposed difficulty builds a foundation of unshakable toughness. Because when heeded by choice, when discomfort is yours, then hardship becomes familiar. Life's storms won't break you, they'll strengthen you, and when your spine already leans into pain, pressure becomes leverage. So embrace it, because the heroic path isn't soft. The glorious path isn't easy. The Stoic mind, it is tempered, refined through fire, grounded in steel, ready for anything. Voluntary discomfort is your secret weapon, and it starts right now with one deliberate, uncomfortable choice. Number 5, turn obstacles into fuel. The obstacle is the way. Let's face it, most people break when life gets hard. They run, they complain, they point fingers. But the Stoics, they had a different mindset, a radical one. Don't run from obstacles, run toward them, because that's where the fire is. That's where the real growth begins. Marcus Aurelius expressed it well. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, that thing in your path, it's not blocking you, it is the path. That failure, fuel. That heartbreak, fuel. That setback, fuel. But only if you choose to see it that way. Here's the truth. Life isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. You're going to get knocked down. People will doubt you, plans will fall apart, and you'll be tempted to ask, why me? But the Stoic says, try me, because each obstacle is a mirror. It shows you what you're made of. It reveals your patience, grit, willpower, and resourcefulness. No challenge, no clarity, no resistance, no resilience. The Stoics didn't just endure obstacles, they used them. Like iron sharpening iron, they turned pain into purpose. Setbacks are stepping stones, chaos into clarity. You want a stronger mind? Then stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start using what life gives you, even when it's messy, painful, or unfair. Got rejected? Good. Now you know what to work on. Got betrayed? Now you know who not to trust and how to rise above them. Lost everything? Now that you're free to rebuild it stronger, smarter, and with a deeper fire. The obstacle is your teacher. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's life asking you, how badly do you want it? And when you answer that call, face the obstacle and say, I will not back down. You unlock a version of yourself that comfort could never give you. A warrior, a force, a leader, a legend. So here's the truth. Obstacles don't block the path. They are the path. And the moment you embrace that, your mind stops fearing failure and starts seeing fuel. Number 6, silence the ego, be humble, stay hungry. The most dangerous voice in your head is no doubt, it's ego. Ego whispers, you already know enough. You're better than them. You don't need to improve. But the Stoics knew that the voice is a liar, because ego isn't confidence. Ego is arrogance, masquerading as strength. And the moment you start thinking you've made it, it's the moment you start falling behind. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome and the ruler of the most powerful empire on earth. But every night, he journaled to himself like a student. He questioned his actions. He reminded himself, you are a man, just a man. Why? Because the higher you rise, the more dangerous the ego becomes. It blinds you. It dulls your edge. It makes you defend your flaws instead of improving them. But humility? Humility is fuel. It's the quiet strength that says, I still have more to learn. When you're humble, you're unstoppable because you're always hungry, constantly growing and always sharpening your mind. You don't need to prove you're the best. You work like you haven't arrived yet. The Stoic understands this. You can't learn while you're busy impressing. You can't grow while you're defending your ego. You can't master life if you're afraid to admit you still have work to do. So, here's the Stoic practice. Ask more questions. Seek feedback without pride. Admit when you're wrong and make the necessary corrections promptly. Let go of needing to look perfect, because humility isn't weakness, it's power in its purest form. The ego needs applause, wisdom needs silence, so kill the need to be seen. Let your work speak louder than your words. Be great quietly and let success echo for you. Stay grounded, stay teachable, stay hungry, because the moment you stop being a student, you start dying as a leader. Number 7, detach from the outcome. Focus only on the process. We've all felt it, that tight grip on the finish line, the obsession with results, the anxiety of asking, what if it doesn't work? And that's where most people lose, not because they're not talented, but because they're chained to the outcome. The Stoics knew this trap. They didn't chase praise. They didn't panic over losses. They lived by a higher law. Focus on what you control. Let go of what you don't. Epictetus said, "You may not control the circumstances, but you control how you respond." And that's the key. You can't control whether the world applauds you, whether your efforts go viral, whether they recognize your greatness, but you can control how you show up, the discipline you bring, the energy you pour into the task in front of you. The Stoic path is about process over praise. It's about showing up with excellence even if no one is watching, even if no one says thank you, even if the outcome isn't guaranteed. Because here's the truth. When you obsess over the result, you sabotage the present. You rush, you stress, you forgot to build mastery. But when you detach, when you focus only on the work itself, you find peace and power. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, how can I give my absolute best right now? Think like an archer. Your job is to aim true and shoot with skill. But once the arrow leaves the bow, whether it hits the target is no longer up to you. Do your part with all your heart, then let it go. Because the moment you let go of results, you reclaim your mind. You become unshakable. Not because you always win, but because you're not defined by winning. Detach. Let the scoreboard fade, fall in love with the process, and trust that excellence practiced daily always pays off even when it takes time. That's not just Stoicism, that's freedom. Number 8, reflect nightly, audit your soul. You want to know why most people stay stuck? They live their days, but they never examine them. They repeat the same habits, the same mistakes, the same excuses, and then they wonder why nothing changes. But the Stoics? They had a ritual more powerful than motivation. Every night, they audited their soul. Seneca said, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day. What bad habit did I correct? What good habit did I practice? What duty did I neglect?" This wasn't about guilt, it was about growth, because reflection is a weapon. It's how you sharpen your judgment, correct your path, and build character one day at a time. Here's how the Stoic does it. At night, in silence, they ask themselves, did I act with courage today? Did I speak with integrity? Did I waste time? Did I honor my values or betray them? No filters, no lies, no sugarcoating, just a clear mirror, and the courage to face it. You don't need a life coach. You don't need a 10-step productivity system. You need brutal honesty with yourself. Because if you don't review your behavior will control you. If you don't hold yourself accountable, no one else will. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You have to get 1% better each day. That's how warriors are built. That's how legends are born. So tonight, before the lights go out, take 5 minutes, ask the hard questions, write them down, and don't flinch from the answers. Because in that space, in that moment of silence, you meet your most authentic self. And when you meet them daily, you start to lead them. That's not reflection. That's evolution. Number 9, tame your reactions. Respond, don't react. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your phone lights up with a passive-aggressive message. A stranger throws shade. A friend disappoints you. What do? Most people? They explode. They lash out. They argue. They spiral. But the Stoic, they don't react. They respond. And that difference is everything. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That means your real power isn't in what the world throws at you. It's in what you choose to throw back. Reactivity is weakness. It means your emotions control you. It means anyone at any time can pull your strings like a puppet. But a Stoic cuts those strings. They train their mind to pause, to breathe, to observe without surrendering. Because every second you delay your reaction, you build strength, you buy space, you gain freedom. Here's the truth. You are not your emotions. You are the master behind them. Anger will knock at your door. Frustration will rise in your chest. But you don't have to let them in. You can choose calm. You can choose clarity. You can choose control. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you channel them. You turn that fire into fuel, not chaos. So next time someone tests you, please don't give them power. Don't hand them your peace. Instead, pause, reflect, and respond like a warrior who knows. Stillness is strength, and silence, when chosen with intention, it is one of the most commanding responses in the world. Train yourself not to react to everything. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fight every battle. Choose your responses with wisdom, and your mind becomes untouchable. Number 10, live by virtue character over comfort. You want real peace? Unshakable confidence? The kind of self-respect that can't be bought, borrowed, or broken? Then stop chasing pleasure, stop chasing comfort, and start living by virtue. The Stoics didn't wake up asking, "What feels good today?" They asked, "What's right? What's honorable? What does my highest self demand of me?" Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. He had power, luxury, and status, but he still wrote to himself like a soldier in training, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." Why? Because everything else is temporary. Fame fades, money comes and goes. Pleasure is fleeting. But character? That's eternal. That's legacy. That's the real scoreboard of your life. Virtue isn't some lofty ideal. It's your compass in the storm. When the world pulls you in the 10 directions, virtue holds you steady. When you're tempted to lie, virtue speaks truth. When you're pressured to fold, virtue holds the line. When comfort begs you to quit, virtue keeps you moving forward. The Stoics defined 4 pillars of virtue: wisdom, courage, justice, self-discipline. Master those, and the world can't touch you. Wisdom, the ability to pause and see clearly. courage, the guts to do what's hard when it's right. Justice, standing for what's fair, even if it costs you. Self-discipline, commanding yourself when no one's watching. You don't build virtue in a moment. You build it choice by choice, day after day, and the more you live by it, the stronger you get. You walk taller. You sleep more deeply. You fear nothing because you've betrayed nothing inside yourself. This is how the Stoic lives, not for applause, not for comfort, but for integrity. So ask yourself every morning, what would the highest version of me do today? Then do that, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because in a world that trades values for convenience, the one who holds the line becomes unforgettable. Comfort is cheap. Character is rare. Choose virtue, and you become unshakable. Conclusion: transform your mind, transform your life. You've just uncovered 10 ancient weapons forged in fire, refined by time, and carried by the greatest minds who ever lived. Not theories, not fluff, but timeless Stoic tools, when applied, can change everything. Now ask yourself, will you listen or will you live it? Because here's the truth. Your mind is your most valuable real estate, and most people leave it unguarded. They let fear rent space. They let distraction take over the halls. They let comfort become king, but not you, not anymore. From this moment forward, you'll remember that time is precious and live like it. You'll master your focus by locking onto your purpose. You'll embrace discomfort as your training partner. You'll rise when obstacles appear because they are your proving ground. You'll silence the ego, stay humble, and stay hungry. You'll stop chasing outcomes and start owning your process. You'll reflect nightly, sharpen daily, and lead yourself before anyone else. You'll respond with power, not panic. And most of all, you'll live by virtue, because that's what real warriors do. This isn't about being perfect. This is about being deliberate. It's about choosing the hard path, the meaningful path, the Stoic path. Because when your mind is disciplined, your emotions are centered, and your actions are guided by timeless principles. You don't just survive this life, you dominate it. So now, the choice is yours. Go back to who you were, or rise into who you're meant to become. And if you're ready to master your mindset, conquer your emotions, and become unstoppable, subscribe now. Because this channel isn't just about content. It's a community, a movement, a mission. Let's transform our minds and build lives that no storm can shake. Subscribe, reflect, rise. This is only the beginning.